Hi everyone, this is BritSimon. As you know, I give advice and help, expert advice to DV lottery winners and help them process their cases. I've been doing this since 2013. I've had my own blog at BritSimonSays.com since 2014. And I've helped literally thousands, many thousands of people through their process. I do all of this for free. I don't charge anyone. Hopefully you can feel like you can invest your trust in me, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and keep watching. What I want to talk to you today about is a particularly important subject for DV 2022 winners. It's the question about whether you should submit your documents before being asked or not. And I want to go through that and explain what happened in DV 2021 and what my advice to people had been and how I'm now changing that advice for DV 2022 going forward until things get a bit more sorted out at KCC. So when you read the instructions, it sounds like the instructions say something like you will receive information about what the further steps will be. So if you read the instructions, and I hope most of you are reading the instructions, you would get the impression that you need to wait to be asked to send in your documents. So the process is that you send in your DS260, you wait for a period of time until that's processed, and then at some point they would send you an email and say, please send in your documents. And I have a video and I have an article on my blog that shows you precisely how you can send in your documents. It tells you how to name the documents, which documents you'll need, and so on. The whole thing is very nicely described in both my video and also my blog article. So when it is time to send documents, you'll be able to do that. But the question is, should you wait to be asked to send in your documents, or should you just send them in anyway, proactively, right? Now, in DV 2020 and DV 2021, I asked people to wait and not send in their documents until KCC had asked for them. And the reason I did that, there was a couple of reasons. Number one, I was trying to make sure that people with lower case numbers were able to get their documents processed, because if everybody with high case numbers send in their documents and send in their DS260s, it just swamps the system. It means that the KCC are not efficient with their processes, right? And so I felt like I was firstly helping KCC organize their work better, and therefore being more efficient for all of the DV 2021 selectees. Then secondly, I had also noted in DV 2019, when the documents procedure was first introduced, my dog wants to play with the ball. No, Poppy, no ball. Excuse me about that. My dog's so clever. She found a way into the office. Anyway, so in 2019, 2020, I noticed that people were sending in documents, whether they were asked for documents or not. They were sending in documents, and KCC were in large volumes just losing the documents. It certainly appeared that way. Now, it's possible that people were making mistakes in the way that they were sending in documents. But to be honest, I don't think everybody could have been making those same mistakes. I think there must have been some fault at the doorstep of KCC, as it were, some blame for KCC in just losing people's documents. And that behavior has continued in DV 2021. There are lots of people who sent in their documents very early and never had those documents processed. Now, we do know in DV 2021 that KCC stopped processing, so that's partly that reason. But it also, the analogy I give people sometimes is that unless KC have asked you for your documents, and then therefore they're ready to receive those documents, What might happen is that you send in the documents, they're not ready to receive them, they don't have a file open for you, and that makes it easier perhaps for those documents to go missing. That's a possibility, right? However, I would say that I have known people in DV 2021 send in their documents without being asked, and those documents have been processed. And we also know that in DV 2021, the earlier the documents were processed and someone became ready for scheduling or documentarily qualified, the better their chance of being interviewed was, because KCC at some point started to interview in ready for scheduling order, the order in which the case became ready for scheduling. And so the faster you can get your case into that ready for scheduling status, the better in one way. So I changed my tune for DV 2021. I started telling people to send in their documents earlier this year, around about January. I think I officially started telling people to send in documents. I started a Twitter campaign with a hashtag, send your bloody documents. You know, it became obvious to me that KCC was screwing up the whole year because they weren't asking enough people to send in documents. And because they didn't ask people to send in documents and not enough people processed their documents, it meant that they misreported to the visa office. They misreported how many people actually were waiting for visas. And because of that, all of the regions went current unnecessarily, frankly, and without justification. And so it's created quite a bit of chaos, and that's unfortunate. So, okay, that's the background, and it brings me to DV 2022. So what should you do in DV 2022? Well, each of you has to look after your own case. That's the first thing, right? You mustn't worry about other people. You've got to look after yourself, look after number one, etc. And from that point of view, you can send in documents without being asked, and it might help your case. You'll have to be careful, though. You'll have to check with KCC later on to see whether they are satisfied with your documents. And if you have a high case number, sending in your documents is basically just going to go into a waiting phase, because they actually will process the documents in case number order when they have a backlog of work, and they will have a backlog of work already, that's for sure. So if you do send in your documents as a high case number, it may not actually move your case to ready for scheduling very quickly. It might take a long time for them to respond, and by a long time, I mean it could take months before they respond to you to say that your documents are in good shape and that you're ready for scheduling. It could take several months. Other people with lower case numbers could send in their documents even without being asked, after they have submitted their DS260, of course. And those people could find they get ready for scheduling notices pretty quickly, okay? And so in that case, if you want an early interview, if your case number is a low case number, then sending in your documents without being asked will have actually improved your chances of getting an early interview, okay? So on balance, what I'm saying to you is, yes, go ahead and send in your documents, whether you've been asked or not. Particularly if you're a low case number. But on the other hand, if you're at all nervous that you think they're going to lose your documents or anything like that, number one, you can check with them later. You can email them and ask them later. And number two, you could just wait to be asked. It's up to you. It's your choice, right? Nobody is forcing you to send in the documents. It's entirely your choice. Okay, so I hope that's clear to people. I hope my advice is clear to people. I get a lot of people who will be asking me every day, and I'm just going to direct people to come and watch this video so that I can explain more fully in this video the rationale behind my thought process for saying, yes, send in the documents, okay? It's just the best way for me to explain that to you. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Thank you for watching this video. I've got a lot more videos I need to be posting to help you through your DV2022 journey. I'm going to remake some of the videos I already have. By all means, go and have a look at my back catalog. I've got many videos that will help you through your process, but I'm going to update some of them so that you'll have the latest information. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel, please. Give me a thumbs up on this video if you liked it, if you found it helpful, and let me know if there's anything you would like me to record a video about. Okay? All right, everybody. Thanks. Bye-bye now.